the details as far as the Supreme Court hearing Uddhav Thackeray's plea is concerned. Supreme Court is to hear this matter against the Election Commission tomorrow. This is Uddhav Thackeray's plea against the Election Commission. Hearing of the Uddhav camp at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow is what we've been given to understand. These are developments we're reporting from the Supreme Court of India, where Uddhav Thackeray has gone knocking against the Election Commission on them awarding the bow and arrow symbol to the Eknath Shinde faction of the Shiv Sena, something that Thackeray has been extremely unhappy about. He's trying to get some sort of a legal remedy in place. In fact, he is aggrieved when it comes to the bow and arrow symbol that was awarded to the Shinde camp, the Eknath Shinde camp of Shiv Sena. This plea essentially is against the Election Commission of India, which awarded the bow and arrow symbol to Eknath Shinde camp of the Shiv Sena. Court to hear the matter at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow is what we've been given to understand. Previously too, Uddhav Thackeray had in fact pushed for urgent listing of this matter. Now we know that the court is going to hear this issue at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Uddhav Thackeray is also in fact seeking a protective order from the Supreme Court, saying that Shinde faction has already taken over the office. Also expressing concerns about the fact that they could be taking over bank accounts. Urgent hearing with the Constitution Bench matter is what we are learning. But the plea as far as the order of the Election Commission and awarding the bow and arrow symbol is concerned, that is something that's going to be heard at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow by the Supreme Court of India. Uddhav Thackeray's plea against the Election Commission. That matter is going to be heard at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow in the Supreme Court. Why did the Election Commission then give the bow and arrow symbol to the Eknath Shinde camp is the question that Uddhav Thackeray is asking. And that's the plea that he has put out in the Supreme Court. Also, there are concerns about financial transactions given that the Shinde camp has already taken up over the office of the Shiv Sena. And the worry really as far as the Shinde, as far as the Uddhav Thackeray camp rather is concerned is that they are going to be then taking over the finances as well. Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer, is also now joining us. This is a real worry of the Uddhav Thackeray faction as far as various issues are concerned, given that the Shinde camp, sir, is moving fairly quickly on this. First, the bow and arrow symbol, then the office. The concern is that they could now also be taking over as far as the finances of the Shiv Sena is concerned.
Well, Sneha, I appreciate the apprehension which will be there on part of the Uddhav Thackeray faction. Any losing party will have that apprehension, especially when they've lost firstly the team of their own members, and then they have lost their bow and arrow, and then office also, and then possibly now the bank accounts, as their apprehension is there. But going strictly by the law, and what is going to possibly transpire in the Supreme Court when the arguments are heard tomorrow, is that basically what the Election Commission has done, it has given you about a 70 to 80 page order. It is a reasoned order with reasons. It has deliberated over both the sides' arguments and then passed an order saying that the bow and arrow symbol should be going to the Shinde faction, because that is the real Sena, according to the Election Commission, because that is where most of the members have departed to. So the thing is that Supreme Court is very unlikely to interfere with that order. Firstly, because normally the Election Commission is a quasi-judicial body. It follows procedure, it takes in evidence, everything, and then it passes an order. So the Supreme Court is unlikely to do that unless the Uddhav Thackeray faction can show that there is some sort of a partiality, there is some sort of a malafide, or as we use it in law, an error apparent on the face of the record. Absent these 2-3 things, the Supreme Court will pass the order in favor of Mr. Shinde, because the order passed by the Election Commission will stand the scrutiny of the Supreme Court. As I said, absent these 2-3 things. So if the Uddhav Thackeray faction can show these 2-3 things, then possibly the Supreme Court may differ with the Election Commission. But other than that, this exercise is an exercise, in my opinion, of an exercise in futility. For the I mean, we all do that. I mean, as a lawyer, even I have orders going against my way or against my client, and we appeal, and we know that what fate awaits us in the appeal, but nevertheless we appeal, hoping against hope, saying that, well, maybe this point was not considered by the Election Commission, so likewise this point was not considered by my lower court, so let me go to the higher court, and maybe the higher court may look at this point the way I want it to look at. So that is their best bet. They can have the best lawyers and they can try that, and let's see what transpires tomorrow. But I believe that this is not going to be making much of a headway, especially in a free democracy where people have chosen to associate with one